Hello and welcome to Glory Goals.
Hello.
Hello.
Right.
Luke's going to have another stab at this.
Okay, it's our season 4 No. Season 4 Guild Season 4 Guild preview, The Union.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
So with so it's going to be a lot of Dave just talking
Because he's gonna cream over Union again.
Well, you'd say Union. He only ever plays like 7 players.
We've given him.
Yes, I've got my five
given him his
in front of me.
You only got your 5
talk about benediction
because benediction's in the church.
and we've already covered that.
So Union, they're an interesting one because they're not huge changes.
Which Dave sees as a nerf,
to be
but
fair,
everyone
but
else sees as a buff.
I don't see it as a nerf. I'm relaying what Jamie Perkins said on another podcast. I'm just fairly happy with the changes that happened. Were all ones that I'd like to have seen.
Any changes you've had are positive ones. Have you had are there any negative changes to your gaming?
No. His team has just got better.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
To be fair.
So I found that quite interesting because the thing is, generally speaking, at the top of most tournaments, it'd be Fish or Union.
No, Alchemists.
I was expecting a change to Vet Rage.
Yeah. So at the top of most tournaments, you'd be seeing Fish and Union. Union are largely unchanged. I think that's quite interesting. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just think it's interesting.
Yes. I don't know. Vet Rage has taken a small nerf.
Not losing Usurper.
Yeah.
It was
The rule
clutch
that
though.
most people forgot.
Exactly, everyone forgets it, and it only affects the mirror. So it was.
The mirror and every team that holds a Union
Well,
model.
yeah.
But now,
But then
getting
you
less
forget
and
it.
now
less.
minor guilds are a thing, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah.
So it makes logical sense to drop it, really.
Yeah. Okay. Which captain are we going to do first?
Let's let Dave go do his black art.
Well, it's
There's not a lot of changes.
yeah. Well, it's my happy time in that Blackheart has stayed the same. So
Everything the same.
yeah, but he's got the same strengths and the same weaknesses. So
And what weaknesses are they?
None.
momentous damage lowdown,
You only
non-momentous.
take the 1 damage double dodge anyway.
Once you've
No, but-
told him up.
Well,
So is this a weakness?
oh my goodness, this is going to be the entire thing is going to be this. And my point is that without that tooled up and without the extra
I bet
tech he
you're
gets
great
off his
interviews.
own opponents,
What's your weaknesses, Dave?
of his own players. Yeah, talking about my
weakness.
strengths as a weakness. Yeah,
What's your interview? You're doing interview.
my weakness is I work too hard.
My weakness is I never lose.
I do, especially when I concede.
8-8, best concede.
Right.
I thought it was 10-8. I thought I'd better bring it up before you lot bring it up as well. But either way, we're rambling now.
So Blackheart's
But yeah,
completely unchanged. That
he is
surprised
completely
me
unchanged,
a little bit.
It's interesting that I appreciate he's starting to see a bit more playing in kind of top tier tables. I know, Jason Mountain used him at WTC, and I think one of the Germans used him as well. So they are he's seeing a bit more, and I use him in a particularly distinct way.
Not as intended. I'm only joking.
Not as designed.
But he obviously, Vet Rage is normally the captain that wins out in a union match. And I think that's one of the reasons why they are one of the stronger guilds, is that Vet Rage is probably a higher pick percentage than Blackheart.
They've got 2 ridiculously strong captains.
But my point about Blackheart, I mean, I don't want to go on about him because he hasn't changed, but it is that he's got low momentous damage, he's got high momentous damage at the top of his playbook, which is a rarity to get to. And then in between, he's got a tackle on 3 and a knockdown on 4, so he's not exactly tackling the ball. I mean, there's games I've lost where I've been trying to tackle the ball off someone, and I've had 5 goes at it, and I still can't get the ball off him. So he has got his weaknesses.
The
It's
one
just,
thing
you don't normally see them
I
because the rest of
probably
his team
would have
helps
been
him out.
happier, I think, if this would be a change, I don't know if Richard agree, if he went up to a 5-7 but lost Shadow-like.
I think that'd be good.
Because I think with him,
He can get out of danger.
with Shadow-like, he can dodge to a 2-inch melee, and on 2, he's got a dodge on 1, has he?
Yeah, momentous dodge on 1.
Yeah, he's got a momentous dodge on 1 at Tat 6, so no one can tie him down. Realistically.
Yeah.
And it's a double dodge on 2. So attack 6, he will pretty much always hit that double dodge on 2.
But it is one of those things where, I mean, my turn is always normally try and get him to
Loading
reach the high damage that he can reach. Do that on his first turn, and after that, he doesn't do a great deal other than he'll score a goal, hopefully. But beyond that, he doesn't normally, other than putting a chip damage on, it's not that he's got that one explosive turn for me, and after that, it's kind of
He then works as quite a good setup piece by putting butchery on people
putting
and
butchery
crowding
on,
out. And,
or he will generate some momentum because he's got those 2 momentum results now at the bottom. You could put 6 influence on him, get the momentum, dodge around, and score a goal.
yeah, so he can get his.
he can do
get
stuff.
out. I think one of the things is how survivable he is. He's a pain in the
There
arse.
have been
to
times
kill.
where I've gone in sort of turn 1, scored a goal. Turn 2, I've beaten somebody to death
and then run
on
away.
low health, and then he's still, he's dodged 8 inches, and then he gets to run away at the end as well.
Yeah.
So he has got his uses, but I think he does need the rest of his team around him, and I suppose Vet Rage doesn't necessarily, although he obviously likes it for his bloody coin,
bloody
boosts his
coin.
heroic.
So with Blackheart then, no changes.
No changes. I think he's still got strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, Rich.
His weaknesses are that his strengths.
His weaknesses are he's got a knockdown on 4 and a tackle on 3, and he's supposed to be a goal scoring captain, and he can't tackle the ball. Well, he can't normally unless he charges.
what he does-
Come back when you got a tack 4 captain with a tackle on 2.
What you got to look at is though he's still shadow like with 2-inch melee.
Yeah,
Double
he is,
dodge
yeah.
on 2, so
Single
you can-
dodge on
I'm not
one.
denying.
Single
I'm
dodge
not
on one,
denying
so
he's a
you can
good.
get
I'm
in
not
on
denying he's a good
unpredictable
captain.
models
I've
and-
used him for 3 years because he's a good captain, and I enjoy using him. I'm just saying he has got weaknesses
Okay.
that people don't necessarily
So,
always
fine,
realise or
yeah.
exploit.
Okay, so Rage. His stats are all the same. His melee zone and his health have all stayed the same. He still has the same 3 character plays. Concussion, Quick Time, and Red Fury, all very, very strong. His playbook has changed very little. His non-momentous tackle on 1 is now on 4.
Good. That was the weirdest thing when
That
someone
is
came
very
with a stealth
weird.
ray. It was like, I'm
Get
going
a-
to charge you, and
get a
I'm going
wrap.
to tackle on the wrap.
Yeah,
Then I'm going to 2-inch dodge myself and score a goal.
Yeah, it was very weird for Rage to be doing that.
given that he's supposed to be the beating captain and Blackheart's the kind of more
Yeah.
dodgy scoring captain, and
Yeah.
Blackheart's tackle is actually worse than Rage's.
This is it. So he still has Rise and Anger, and he still has Furious. He's just lost Usurper, which a lot of people used to forget about.
Yeah.
And to be honest, with Union appearing less and less in natural team selection due to obviously minors and things like that, it's going to become less and less like.
Yeah.
specific.
It'll eventually become, if you playing the mirror, you get a bonus attack across the whole team, which is weird.
This is it.
So I get that.
This is it. So he's still got Bloody Coin and he's still got My Gang. So overall, Vet Rage is pretty much unchanged.
So that's really, I just find it really interesting that both the captains, like the one of the stronger teams, both captains stayed pretty much the
Well,
same.
look at it this way: Shark didn't change,
Yeah.
and Shark is also one of the strongest captains. And obviously, Corsair got changed because Corsair needed to change.
I think Corsair got changed because they wanted to make Shark a viable option, didn't they? So you can still use Corsair for what you want him to
I'm
use
sure
him
Matt
for.
Cook
but-
would disagree that Shark's
yeah.
not
I
a
know.
viable option.
But again, that's the same thing. I'm a Union player that doesn't play Vet Rage. So there will be fish players that don't play Corsair. I didn't particularly enjoy playing him the few times I've played him because he's just a bit kind of
Point and click.
and beastly, and it's not a very pleasant experience for the person you're playing against. So, but I suppose with Vet Rage, he's supposed to be that
Yeah.
eater.
That's true. Cool.
But you can work around him, tie him down with a 2-inch melee model, and all of a sudden he's lost 2 influence. He can't
Exactly,
get his
that's the
charge.
thing, you
Although,
stand
or
it-
you have to pay 2 to dodge out,
And then
get
that's
your
2
charge,
attacks.
But it's
See,
still
this
2
is-
attacks gone.
Yeah.
And then you counter attack with, say, let's say for Blackheart, for example, and then he's got to knock you down.
Yeah.
Which then means he's only got 2 attacks
He
against
spent 4 influence to charge you and get
2 attacks.
yeah,
2
it's
attacks
knocked
against a
down.
knockdown person.
Yeah. This is it.
Interesting. Okay. Strongbox.
okay.
We'll do the 2 captains and mascots.
Strongbox is largely unchanged. He's still.
You're not even looking at the new card.
No, I'm not looking at the old one. That would help.
That
But-
He's
shows what
completely unchanged.
I'm
I'm,
sure
I'm not
there's a-
saying that as soon as we got these, I pored over them intently, but I already know what the changes are to Strongbox. His kick is now a 1-4 versus a 2-4 kick. Everything else is unchanged. He's still tough hide. He's still got 8 boxes. Still got confidence, and his playbook's the same. So basically, he is as was, but his kick's gone down, and I can see why they did it because in theory it's a tortoise with a 2-4 kick, which is a little bit odd. I think also when we get onto the changes with Coin, there's now I'll say a dilemma, but there is an actual
There's a
choice
choice
now.
to be had.
Yeah, because Coin, when he lost his 2-inch melee, suddenly didn't really seem like an attractive prospect. I'm a player that's bounced between, obviously, Season 1 I played Coin anyway, because he was the only one that existed.
Yeah.
Season 2 I didn't play Strongbox because I couldn't see the benefit of him versus Coins 2-inch melee, and Bag of Coffers.
Bag of Coffers is super strong.
But actually now, there is a choice to be made.
Yeah.
But that's the only change. He's lost one on his
Point of kick, which is fair.
kick.
So you're not seeing them janky strongbox goals.
Yeah, or you're not seeing Blackheart being able to use him for a 2-4 kick.
Well, it's a one dice, 3s on 2 inches, within 2 inches for the tap-ins. Tap-in kicks are a thing.
Definitely. Cool. So Coin. A couple of really nice changes to Coin. He's now got back. He now has returned back to his 2-inch melee.
I thought you were about to say he's got back to the shadows. I was
No,
like, what card are you
no,
looking
no,
at? Because I'm pretty sure he hasn't. But yeah,
No. He's got his 2-inch melee. He still has 8 boxes. Hamstring is the same, but it's now been changed to constrict.
Yeah.
So it's still -4/-4 move when you get that off, which is still momentous on 2 successes, but on tack 2, not exactly highly likely.
no, he's going to be. He can't proc it off Pine Blaze, can he? Actually,
No, it's character
No,
play.
so it'll be a
It's
counter
charging.
attack. So
On the bright side, we know where that 2-4 kick's gone. Coin now has it.
yeah,
So he's gone up from 1-4 to 2-4. He still has follow up on the back of his card, and he still has Bag of Coffers, which is still allocate 1 influence and have 1 free bonus time.
Nice.
I used to love it when it was gain. Decimate with 5 influence.
Yeah. And that's why we can't have nice things.
No. Yeah.
So overall, I think that's really made Coin
2-inch
viable
melee
again.
team's a thing, isn't it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Union can now field the 2-inch melee team again, which is nice. Me personally, I'm possibly still swaying towards Strongbox because I think
I think if you're going to take a player like Hemlock or someone with blind, being able to
you
do a
get the
free bonus time blind
yeah.
is fantastic.
for 1 influence, well, for no influence,
nothing.
yeah, so
For
you
starting
get
next to a
couple of them.
snake.
So there's options now. That's what I mean. I like the fact they have made it a viable
A choice.
Whereas
rather
before,
than-
the Bag of Coffers, I just found either it's too telegraphing or it was never really used or it was an afterthought. It was like, oh yeah, I've got coin left to go. You can go and put some Bag of Coffers on someone to do
Yeah.
something as a bonus rather than a deliberate part of your strategy for the turn.
I think that's fair.
True. Cool. Luke,
Shall I do a Lady Gutter?
go for it.
Completely unchanged.
Really?
No changes. Oh, apart from the double Guild Ball symbol is now a Guild Ball trophy. Sizing Blaze exactly the same. Chain Grab's exactly the same.
Yeah.
She's still got Life Drinker, still got Anatomical, still top 5, absolutely everything, completely unchanged.
Would still totally take Gutter. She's still super amazing. On the bright side, the old fancy alt art card from the church set's useful then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of my cards for season 3 are useful.
Oh, is there what for some?
I can keep my chibi black heart card.
Yeah. Yeah. My Chibi Midas has been changed twice already.
Cool.
Come on then, Dave.
Me?
Go on, pick
Yeah,
one.
why not?
I kind of want to save my favourite
Spoilers,
till
if you ever play
later.
Dave in a tournament, these are the 5 he'll take.
And Benediction.
And Benediction.
Well, you see, this is the point now, because of the change they've made to other players, I might actually
Would you
consider
take Harry
putting-
over Benediction then?
Potentially, because he's got that momentous damage.
No,
hasn't he?
I don't think you will lose your sturdy. Being able to do the sturdy thing on Blackheart, you won't.
Yeah, if they took Sturdy off Benediction, then he might.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, but Harry's got singled out.
Oh, exactly, but that's my
Spoilers.
point, because I don't normally play.
Spoilers.
I don't play Average and Greed because I don't like the models.
Average and greed.
I must be the only person that doesn't like the Average and Greed models. But so I've never really had singled out in guild. So we'll go with Rage.
Yep.
Because he is one of my favourites, and
so-
it's a very small change, but it's an absolutely lovely one because it just opens up huge potential. If I was talking about a wish list of what I wanted to see, then Original Rage is like the one because I
Rich,
don't know.
do we need to be here? Should we just go? Should we just go to a cat of tea or something?
I don't think we could leave Dave alone with a mic. It'd just
I'll-
be a circle jerk on his own.
I'll finish frothing in a bit because this is kind of one of the biggest changes. Is having done all that preamble and ramble, it is basically he's no longer Maverick. I know I've heard conversations before about why he was originally Maverick, and a lot of it was to do with coins. Bag of Coffers being gain and influence and a bonus time because in theory then you'd have
Oh, two
a berserk model with
6 attacks.
6 attacks and a bonus time on his charge, which seems fairly brutal. And obviously now in theory you've got
Well, he could
people like
tool himself.
Windle who can do that anyway. He's berserk with he can take 6, can't he? Because he's
He can eat
He
it.
can get.
he can
he
eat
can
one
eat
to
it.
gain an
Yeah.
attack.
I'm not sure what happens in season 4. To be
No,
honest,
no,
I haven't
I
We
really.
know.
haven't really looked
No,
at the
no.
farmers, so that will probably be one of the next ones.
But I know in season 3 you could do it.
Yeah.
So in theory, it wasn't quite so
Yeah.
game breaking. But
So
in
everyone
season
played
1,
Windle.
in season 1,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. But in season 1, when
All the
Rage
boys
was
like
kind
Windle.
of one of the few players around, then it was above the curve. But now it's back, so I'm loving the potential of just being able to actually apply buffs to Rage before he does something.
Brilliant. And then when Blackheart goes and butcheries someone, Rage can then go in and get the plus on damage.
Yeah.
I no longer have to relay.
Oh, and you
Whenever-
can stand firm him, so he's got sturdy as well.
When I do my legendary, and I don't have to say everyone gets it but Rage because he's Maverick. I can just do everybody. But it obviously it dials him up because as we talk about, singled out now applies to him. Sturdy, quick time. Oh, he can't quick time because you can't
Yeah,
he can't be on
Rage
the same
can't.
team as himself. He is literally a Blackheart player now because
Grace can
Cricket's
quick foot
gone.
him.
Grace can quick foot him. So I'm just thinking the potential to increase his threat range, and given that he is fairly vicious when he gets in, and butchery as well. You get butchery on someone, he goes in, he can benefit from that as well. So it kind of makes him a lot
Turns
more
him up to
relevant
12.
again. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Turns
looking
him from
forward.
11
I'm
to
looking
12.
forward to playing him in season 4. I play him all the time anyway. He's literally like the second player on my
He's
my team
second.
sheet.
He's second activation to tool up Blackheart.
Yeah. So
Second
the fact
one,
that
tool.
actually he has now, in theory, I don't have to do that anymore. I could just kick off with Rage, turn him into an absolute ranged beast monster, and just send him flying across
Don't
the
tell me
pitch.
you're changing your turn 1.
Well, I might have to.
Oh my god.
And he's got a 5-inch move. He's quicker.
No, he's always been
He's
5
seven-
inch.
No, his Blackheart's only got 4, so he's getting
Blackheart's.
further.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah,
Rage
he's getting
can be
further up,
7-9
yeah.
now.
Well, he could be, with Blackheart's dodge as well, then he's got a 12-inch threat.
Wow. Do you want to do Harry? Since we've already touched on Harry.
Oh, I didn't have a card open, but I can do. No, I'm going to do Fangtooth because Harry's in the other folder.
Alright,
Thanks is my other good change.
Okay, so Fangtooth's had a number of changes. He's still got his 1-inch melee. He's gone from he's still got the same 4-6 move. He's still got a tap 5, 1-6 kick. He's gone up from a 2-1 with defense and armor to a 3-1 with defense and armor. And also his influence has gone from a 1-3 to a 2-3. So he's bringing. Dave's just nodding.
That's some big changes. Right
That's
there.
huge. In response to his health increase, he's gone from 29 health down to 22.
His
Okay.
defense increase.
So he's gained
Yeah,
a
defense-
death,
his
gained a
defen-
death, lost 7 health.
Lost 7 health, but he's also bringing another influence to the party.
I think they're probably trying to bring down a lot of the defense, a lot of the healths, aren't they? Because they kind of recognise that large health pools are a bit of a a bit of an unpleasant thing to go against.
He's lost the character play Blood, the one that gives out bleed, which I don't think really got used a lot.
I don't think
No,
Fangtooth
it was
got
kind of
used a
it was almost like if I was using him, because I did use him back in season 1. Then it was kind of an afterthought. You were trying to get the unmasking. If you got
You got 2 successes, you'd hit the
you'd
bleed,
hit the bleed.
but you did a non-minutes 2 surely, just because it's guaranteed damage.
Yeah.
He's like- if Fangtooth's
Well, it
last
depends. If his last activation,
Yeah.
then you put the extra bit. Otherwise,
Yeah. He's still got the unmasking, so 3-inch pulse. Other models within this pulse suffer a 4-inch push directly away from this model and 3 damage. So exactly the same. Back of his card, another buff. So
This is the back of his card is the best part of it.
so foul loader now. Any models treat this aura as rough terrain.
Enemy.
Yeah, rather than anyone
Yeah.
trust that it's rough terrain. Wordsworth thing. Gluttonous mass. He's got resilience now, which means it can be triggered on parting blows. He's still got his momentous knockdown on 1. Oh, his playbook's changed a little bit as well. So he's still got his momentous knockdown on 1 or non-momentous 1. His non-momentous 2 is now momentous 2 on 2, or he has a 1-inch push on 2. He has a momentous double push on 3 rather than the 2 damage knockdown.
That's a big loss.
But is it? You go in, hit him, proc his resilience, double push your way. On 4 successes, he's still
I
got.
mean, like, should you be going for a Fangtooth charge or something like that? The 2 and a knockdown's still really nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
But if he hasn't procced his resilience, then the counter attack doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah. So
I
he's
take the damage.
so he's still got the unmasking on 4 momentously and the non-momentous 3. His tackle is still on 5, non-momentous tackle on 5, but his non-momentous 4 is now momentous 4 on 5.
Wow.
He's got resilience, which is can be triggered off parting blow, and Fangtooth Unleashed
Has changed.
has changed. So
They're the two things that really were making it hard to take him. Are the two things on the back of his card: the foul loader and his heroic.
So it now says this model suffers 4 damage and gains +2/2 move and 1 damage to character plays that cause damage and to playable damage results. Where it used to be, all friendly models within a 4-inch pulse immediately suffer 5 damage, and this model gets +2/2 move and 1 damage. So he'll basically take he'll use his heroic to take his 4 damage to get the move and damage buff, and then he'll have to spend another one to heal it to negate it, basically.
Yeah, but you'll easily generate that momentum.
Oh yeah, with now he's tap 5 and a momentous 3/2.
Yeah, momentous 3/2, or a momentous 4 damage on everyone within 3 inches and a 4-inch push
On the charge, and he's now bringing 2 influence with him. Wow, I think you'll see a lot more play.
Yeah, I'd certainly consider putting him in, especially again because
For who? Who are you swapping for?
Because he's got the pushes. I'd probably swap him for Benediction potentially. Because he brings an early knockdown, he brings momentous damage that you can increase with the momentum, which you don't normally struggle with for Union. And he also brings the pushes that you need to unlock Rage, because obviously Rage is normally the person someone goes and stands next to.
Yeah.
Once they've done that, you need to have someone like Harry Benediction or.
And it's a great one to just stand in the middle of the pitch. Someone goes, I'm going to go in and hit him. I'm going to counter attack. Bang, I'll pop your glut. Bang, I've knocked you down.
If you really wanted to be super obnoxious, you could do him as the kickoff model.
And then just go Fangtooth Unleash and release him.
Yeah, and literally go Fangtooth Unleashed. Well, Fangtooth Unleashed, quick foot. Blackheart dodges him forward. He's on the halfway line before he goes.
8-10 Fangtooth.
An 8-10 Fangtooth goes flying in, confidenced so he can make sure he hits the Fangtooth
Bag of
Unleashed.
coppers for a free.
And just launches their entire team 4 inches away from him and spreads them out.
Wow.
Way to ruin someone's turn 1. So not that I've been thinking about ideas as to what
Imagine if
to
that
do.
ruined
But
your Blackheart turn 1.
You come against Union and Fangtooth's just stood there.
Hey, Dave!
But either way, I think he's suffered a lot for the fact that he was like a dilemma model in season 1, where it was like he's a good model, but he had a lot of negatives that you had to kind of weigh up as to whether you wanted to take him or not. I think as more players got released, the negatives far outweighed any positives that he had, so he just slowly got left behind. So I like the fact that they brought him up. He still, damages himself, but he no longer puts 5 damage on your entire team, or he has to kind of wander out on his own. So I think the changes are all good. But they literally brought a player that I don't think I would have ever seen in a team into an actual viable choice now. So I think they're all good changes, and we'll see how he gets on. But I don't think he's not over the curve. He's just
we don't know about the curve yet, do we?
Well, no, but I don't think he's not like completely bonkers. He's just his foul loaders are a bit better because it doesn't debuff your own team, and his heroic play no longer damages you. So actually, you can actually use it. I used to. I mean, it used to be one of the only heroics in Union, and back in season 2, we used to have the free heroic play, and if I got that card in my deck,
the free heroic play,
it just went straight away. That was the first one I got rid of because I was never going to use it.
But that was my one, Fangtooth.
Sorry,
Very nice.
Rich.
Can't tell I'm excited about it.
Yes, who shall I go for next? Should we go for Mist, seeing there's very few changes to Mist, and we've kind of already covered him.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mist, basically, there's only really 2 changes to Mist. Big changes.
Amazing change for Mist. Amazing buff.
His tackle is now momentous.
Momentous tackle on 1.
Yeah.
Momentous
Bang!
tackle on 1. Bang.
Luke is hoping that the Alchemist's Minor Guild doesn't come out for a long time now.
Mist is my go-to. It's for my 8-inch kick team.
Midas, Vitriol.
Well,
Mist.
it was season 3 for a 8-inch kick team when Venin had an 8-inch kick, but now it's Midas, Vitriol, Mist, Venin, but no, it's Vet Calculus. So I've got all the 8-inch kickers.
Yeah.
This is it. And the other one is he lost Motivated Solthesian, so he no longer gets to make a 2-inch dodge at the start of the activation.
To be honest, the only thing they could have done differently is they could have given him Shadow-like. But I'm not saying they should have done because
He
obviously
was crossing
no.
the pitch.
But my point is they got rid of it. I think because he's now in a team full of Saltesians, so
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
pointless to have it as a buff. But if they wanted to keep him the same, they'd have to have given him Shadowlight. But
it
actually,
used to be quite hard to get when there was just two
two
Saltesians.
or three.
Then there was
yeah.
3, and now there's 5.
Yeah, now his entire team. So if he's within 6 inches of his team, then he gets the buff. But as it is,
That momentous tackle on 1 is incredible.
yeah, it's a fair trade. They're pulling all of the kind of native, non-interactive goal threats down to sort of 20 inches max, which is still, that's end to end. So if you start on your deployment zone, you are in the middle. You're 20 inches away from goal, aren't you?
Yep.
Effectively.
Yeah.
So you can't quite get there with a
Well,
bit of
Mist
jam.
used to be able to do what? 6 inches?
22
of dodge,
inches.
6 inches of dodge before he starts, and then,
Pass the ball to him, 4 inches
No,
dodge.
you can do
No,
4
2
inches of
inch.
dodge. 4 inches of dodge.
No, 2 inch from Shadowlike,
Yeah.
2 inch from Acrobatics.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, then he gets...
he gets
Plus
a
2
speed
if he's
buff.
within cover.
yeah, that's what I mean. So he then gets +2, so that's another... That makes that 10 inches.
10 inches.
Plus 8 inches of kick, so 22 inches.
Yeah, which is what I said.
Oh, was that...
I thought it was down to 20, yeah.
22 inches. No, he's been pulled back to 20.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're drawing all those players in. So you haven't really got that. I can score without even interacting with you. As long as I've got some momentum, I'm just going to go off and do.
Well,
my
yeah, the
dodges
Shadowlight
and
was
score.
quite obnoxious in the fact that, right, so I've dodged out of your melee.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm 2 inch.
now
melee
2
model.
inches now next to a piece of terrain.
I'm 2 inches away from you. I'll hit you and get my momentous push dodge on 2.
And there's been
Three.
some. There's,
Is it 3?
Yeah, there's been
Oh,
some.
so momentous dodge on 2?
It's a single dodge on 2.
Yeah.
And then he's push dodged on 3. Isn't it?
Yeah, push it.
But I think there's been some comments about the fact that obviously now that the kicking team's got an momentum, it doesn't matter as much. But actually,
Bonus
a momentous
time.
tackle gives you the bonus time
Yeah.
for one
They can
shot.
kick through a crowd.
3 influence can, well, 4 influence I suppose, because you want to make sure you can do the acrobatic. Or
Yeah.
This is it. But on a charge,
Mm.
you're hoping for that double dodge and a tackle, aren't you?
yeah, but on a 2 inch
On the
melee
round.
model,
Yeah.
you only need a 1 inch dodge.
Yeah.
It's true. So yeah, overall I think
Mist is
super strong,
amazing.
super strong on Mist. So, Luke, do you want to go next, mate?
No, I think it's Dave's turn.
Right. Oh, you got 3 players left.
Well, mine are a pair.
Ah, yes.
Go on then, Dave. Do one of
I'm
yours.
gonna
Who
do-
Who do you want to do, Dave?
I'll do Decimate.
So you say your
So,
favourite.
so you said you wanted to leave your favourite till last. Does that mean Mist?
No,
Mist is your
I've blown my
favourite?
favourite on Rage already. I kind of completely
Came
failed
too soon.
to leave him. I couldn't stop. I couldn't wait to talk about him. But then Decimate's very, very kind of static really in what she's done. All she's really done is her playbook. She's lost the Momentous double dodge on 4 successes, so she's only got the Momentous tackle double dodge. I think there's been some debate on Gubbs about whether or not that double dodge is actually useful or not. And I suppose
In
if you don't
certain
want to tackle the ball, then yeah, in certain circumstances you might want to take it. The reality is you don't normally look beyond Decimate's second result unless you've spiked for 1,000 cuts or you're actually looking to tackle the ball and then you're looking for 4 results to
Yeah.
do exactly what she's still got. So I don't think it's a major issue. She's still good. She's still got
She's still amazing. She's
still
still a super balanced.
guaranteed full momentum if you can get her in without sprinting. Still puts out plenty of damage, and she's still good at counters if she can survive the initial hit. She's still got that double dodge on 2 successes. So Decimate is the other big change is Second Wind. For me, it's not as much of an issue because I'd normally put it on Blackheart, so he's just gained a 4 inch dodge versus a jog. But actually, it is a bit of a downgrade for her.
She's lost 2 inches.
She's lost 2
But if
inches. So
she
she
was
used to be a great ball retriever. If she's engaged, though, she'll just hit somebody to dodge away. But she used to be a great ball retriever. When someone tries to be negative play, bin the ball off to one of the wings, suddenly they find she runs 16 or 15 inches and picks the ball up, and they kind of weren't expecting it. So that was always quite nice. And things like Minx would be good. She goes in for her charge, then gets back to the shadows, then gets a 7 inch jog. You can completely reposition her ready for next turn. So there's some bads and some goods about it. It's a 4 inch dodge now, which is great.
And the
And
dodge is super
put it on
strong.
Rage, original Rage.
Yeah, you can
He
have it
goes
now.
in, he charges in,
You're
does his
essentially getting
damage,
a free back to the
and
shadows.
you get free back to the shadows. Well, it
Well,
costs, but
Oh, it costs 1 instead of 2.
Costs 1 instead of 2. So Second Wind is good.
So
but
Rage
it
can
has
go
changed.
back-to-back activations into somebody. Last
Yeah,
first,
go last, dodge himself back out, and go back in
It
again.
clears him away, doesn't it? So he's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So it is a nice little move now because it effectively gives him his dodge that he needs.
Yeah.
Well, not needs, but what he would like on his playbook. He certainly doesn't need it. But
Why didn't he get to dodge? This?
well, pushes. Why couldn't he have pushes? Yeah, all he's got is rubbish knockdown and damage momentously.
And Berserk. And Furious.
But yeah, so she's not changed a huge amount. I think there's swings and roundabouts on second wind, but it's a 4-inch dodge is a 4-inch dodge. You can't argue with it really. It's nice.
It's true. Cool.
So I'll do Avarice and Greed.
Yep.
So we'll start with Avarice. He's got a little bit faster. He's a 5/7 instead of a 4/7 now.
Cool.
He's still tap 5. He's still a 1/6 kick. He's still a 3 def 0 armor, and he's still a 2/3 influence. Playbook's pretty much the same. The only thing that's changed is his momentous 3 double push at the end of his playbook is now a 3 double push non-momentous. He's still got 20 health. He's got no character plays on the front because his only one was Drop Me Off and it was a 0 cost, so it goes in line with getting rid of 0 cost character plays. The rear of his card, what I'll do, because it's slightly different than the other one, but I think it's pretty much the same. He's lost the hit that one greed, which was while the name friendly model is not suffering that taken out condition is not on the pitch, this model gains +2 tack. So they've lost that aspect of it, where he gets +2 tack while holding greed, which is probably fair.
Yeah, I think it's a bit clutch as well. It's not like normally people are trying to jog in, drop greed off, and get the free knockdown, aren't they?
Yeah, you do the free knockdown, then you can pick him up for free. So you go in and spend 1 to pick him up. But yeah, it was a bit wordy and complicated potentially.
Yeah.
So on the back of his card, he's got Contract Greed. While the name friendly model is on the pitch, this model activates simultaneously with it. So same as always. Drop off Greed. Once per turn during this model's activation, if the name friendly model isn't on the pitch and isn't suffering a taken out condition, it may be placed on the pitch in base contact with this model. Yeah, it used to be base contact. I didn't know that was within an inch. He's still got Thuggery Greed. While this model is within 1 inch of the name friendly model, this model gains +1 damage to playbook damage results and adds a knockdown playbook result to each successful attack it makes.
Basically, I think what the whole point is that they've tried to make it that it's not just a drop greed off, pick him up, weigh on people. It's now forcing you to maybe leave greed on the pitch.
Yeah, you do leave him on. The whole way you work him
Now
is you
didn't used to, because to be honest, I can't think in all the games that I played against Avarice and Greed in season 3 if I ever actually killed Greed because he was forever
you pick him up.
but
You pick him up at the end.
Yeah.
You put him down. You still do the same thing. So that +2 you got from picking him up is pretty pointless because all Greed's doing is putting single out on someone.
This is what I mean. But like I said, I think the design now is to make Greed maybe a little bit more risky to use it.
And Avarice has still got Tough Hide as well.
But you still pick him up. He's not risky to use. All he does is Avarice walks a bit further, drops Greed off,
so
gets the knockdown.
The only
so
reason that you used to pick Greed, so what people used to do
is you used to get a bonus for picking him up.
Yeah, you used to have +2. So you used to kind of drop Greed off. Avarice would then hit somebody. Avarice would then get +1 damage and a knockdown condition on it. Greed would then hit the person and single them out.
He gave them +2 tack.
No, while holding it. So
what I mean. So you used to drop Greed for the singled out.
No, you drop Greed off. You'd drop Greed off first, and you'd hit him with Avarice. You'd then get +1 damage and a knockdown condition. Greed would then hit the knockdown model and hit his singled out.
Why wouldn't you go for singled out first? Because it's on 1 success.
Because
you can counter attack
it.
Yeah, fair.
Then Avarice would pick Greed up, and then Avarice is there on tack 9.
This is it. But now, like I said,
well, I'd still probably keep the +1 damage and just get the extra damage because you've already got singled out. You're rolling 7 dice, aren't you? I wouldn't pick him up for that.
You'd pick him up for tack 9.
Yeah. Momentous 4 damage.
But remember, he had a momentous 3 double push at the top of his playbook.
Yeah.
Right, so anyway, Greed. He's still the same movement. He's still a 1 inch melee. Still tack 4. 1/4 kick. He's still the same. Still a 5/0 modern. He's still a 0/2 influence. His playbook has stayed exactly the same. He's got singled out as a character play. We all know what that is. And he's got pick up Avarice. If this model isn't in possession of the ball and is in base contact with the name friendly model, this model may remove all conditions it's suffering and move itself from the pitch. Yep, exactly the same. Back of his card, benched Avarice, exactly the same. Contract Greed, contract Avarice exactly the same and ready to go exactly the same. So the only real change is Avarice has lost the momentous result at the top of his playbook, and he doesn't get +2 tack while Greed's holding him.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
The only other change I might have quite liked is if Greed had the influence rather than Avarice. So Avarice was a 0-3 and Greed was a 2-2. Just thematically, it feels like he's supposed to be the brains of the outfit, isn't he? But I suppose the big thug is the guy that holds the sway, and Avarice clings onto him
I'm
first.
still waiting for the fluff about what happened with their rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Greed be dead.
Well, either Greed's dead or he bins him off.
Yeah, either way he's dead.
Greed coming soon as a mascot. I thought, honestly, when that all came out before, I thought Greed was going to go off and end up being the mascot for the Union, for the Order.
The mascot.
Chained up in his little kind of...
No, but you don't know, because that was
like a
before.
cherub.
It would kind of make sense if Greed went off on his own. He couldn't be a player. He'd have to be a mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'd end up, and the Order would make sense.
Spoilers, Greed is the new apprentice for the blacksmiths.
Vet Cinder and Greed. Right, this is why I don't write fluff. I just thought, mascot. The Union Minor Guild need a mascot. And that's my train of thought.
A 5-0, what, with what, 6 boxes, 7 boxes?
7 boxes.
7 boxes,
That's a full-on mascot.
full on mascot. Granted, he's got momentum singled out on 1.
Yeah, there you go. You'd have to give him rabid animal back.
So yeah, Greed the mascot. We should try that as like a fun game. Just try and Greed as a mascot.
for church. I'll leave Pride at home. And use Greed.
Oh yeah, because Church need double singled out.
Union have got it.
Union have got-
O2, an O2 mascot is quite a
Oh,
debuff
yeah.
as well, though.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, no influence for your mascot.
Right.
Anyways.
We
Next.
Wow,
digress.
bit of a digression.
Hemlock. Stats have remained exactly the same. Still got a 1-inch melee zone, although now with 12 health. So it's a nice buff for her. Basically, Smelling Salts is the same, although it's got the minus range as all AoEs do.
Yeah, it's a slight debuff on the
Still got
range.
Noxious Blast and still got Blind, although Blind has been nerfed slightly to be range 6
Yeah.
from 8.
Can I just say, with the AoE thing, it makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to just chuck a 6-inch widget down and
For the
put
sake
the
of half an inch, it's not it's not very often that half an inch is going to make a difference.
man of
It's a family
experience.
share.
Okay. Are we talking? I'm sure we're just talking about his general height, aren't we?
Yeah, I was just talking about the length of my fingernails, but yeah.
Hang on, an extra half an inch. How fucking long are your
It's like
nails?
half an inch between. Isn't it
It was
half an
a-
inch between you and Ryan in height?
I don't know.
Who's wearing the big shoes?
Wasn't
I'm
Sam?
I'm Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, Sam was
so,
slightly
yeah.
taller than Frodo.
Yeah, for people who don't know that, basically Dave's vertically challenged.
It's very
Diminutive.
5'7". It's not exactly short.
Basically, when Luke stands next to Dave, Dave is mascot Greed.
Does that mean I'm going to ride on the front of you?
No, it bloody doesn't. Well, Rich in the previous.
This is derailed.
Well, Rich in a previous one thinks I look like Mash. So
I think you do look like Mash.
Taking a cricket bat then, yeah.
Anyway,
so who's next?
so no, Hemlock.
Let's finish Hemlock.
Well, all I tried to say was that when you
An
put
extra half an inch, yeah, doesn't make any difference.
Anyway, we're not falling down that trap again. That's bait.
Spate.
That's bait.
Spate, bro.
So, Hemlock's playbook has not really changed a great deal. The bottom row has remained exactly the same. Top row, the non-momentous 2 damage has moved from 3 successes up to 4. Sure.
Come on, Dave.
And Noxious Blast can now be triggered off the playbook on 3 non-momentously, which is
Oh,
amazing.
non-momentously.
It's non-momentously, but it's
not
still a 2 cost character play that you can potentially trigger, which is really, really good.
Yeah, and then also with Bag of Coffers, you can then go and hit them with a bonus time for free.
Bonus time blind for free.
Bonus time blind for free is a thing.
Slippery, exactly the same, and Magical Brew, exactly the same. So overall, just a nice little buff for Hemlock.
I think she did suffer from having that 10 health, because even if she blinded somebody, they could easily walk up and
Just give her a kick.
still give her a kick, even with the Def 5 model, as long as you've got the right model. I mean, if she's blinding someone, she's blinding a captain. And that
Or a
captain,
striker.
or a striker. Well, I suppose the striker would be bad, but if she's blinding a captain, that captain should still be able to walk over and beat you to death with 10 health, which makes it slightly more survivable. Good changes.
Definitely.
Mm.
Who's up next?
Dave.
Minx.
Minx.
And we're done.
Yeah. Again, Minx hasn't changed. Well, there are a couple of slight changes, to be fair. Her playbook's the same, health's the same, all of her stats are the same, but her mark target has benefited from the kind of global buff to it, in that it's gone up to 10 inches. I can kind of understand why, because a few of the players that had it, with the 8-inch range plus the 2 inches they get, they were actually in range of charging, so there's no point paying for it unless you were setting somebody else up. Minx doesn't really kind of get that, because she's a 10-inch threat anyway, so it still doesn't benefit her that much, but it means that she can charge in, proc it off her playbook, and put it on someone 10 inches away to set somebody else up. Probably original Rage. Apart from that,
new OG Rage being to benefit from mark target.
apart from that, everything else is the same. So she's still got everything.
I think you're just going to see like OG Rage just yeeting from across the pitch, like 12-inch charge.
I've been waiting 4 seasons for Rage to lose Maverick, so I'm really looking forward to using him now. And I think every Union player is going to... Well, no, they won't actually, because most of them play Vet Rage as a captain, which means they can't take him. But anyone that does take Blackheart, I think will now consider Rage.
He is.
Well, they all do.
Do they? Do they all?
Oh, Dave.
They all play.
Apart from a couple of us diehards.
Oh, Dave.
Blowouts. Sorry.
So Minx is still good, but still fragile. But her mark target is slightly longer range now. And that's it.
Mr. the Hat.
Crack on.
Is that all I got?
There's only 2 left. There's Snakeskin and Harry, so...
Yeah, we'll do Harry. He's had a few changes. He's still the same move. He's still the same tech. His kick's gone up from a 2.6 to a 3.6. He's still a 3.1, and he's still got a 2.4 influence. His playbook's had one little change. On his second column, he's got a non-momentous Guild Ball symbol. In terms of character plays, he's lost Goad.
Big loss.
Big loss.
Yes.
But in return for that, he's getting singled out.
It's a good trade.
Good trade, but I still prefer Goad. He's still got Molotov. It's got just a change to the range with basically you suffer burning. Yeah. And then he's still got, on the back of his card, he's still got Inspiring Hat. While within his server, other friendly models may spend 1 less MP to use passive move or make a snapshot. So they've just tidied it up a little bit. And then he's still got Rising Anger. So overall, not a lot of changes. Only he's got a Guild Ball symbol on the second row, and he's swapped Goad for Singled Out. So what's your thoughts on that? Oh, and he's gained a kick.
He's gained Momentous damage on 3. Momentous 3 on 5 successes as well. So his damage is all Momentous now, apart from the 1, isn't it?
He always had it.
You're
looking at the
I'm
old
looking at
one.
the old one.
You're
Yeah,
looking
the
at
old one.
No, the old one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If you look on the back,
Harry.
he's got crazy.
New old Harry. Oh, okay.
Oh.
So his playbook stayed the same.
Yeah.
And you're a Union player.
I know. Well, I
Shows
used
you
to
use the same
use to use Harry for a while, but now I don't.
I really want to use Harry because I've got the order.
I really like the order model of the Harry.
I don't like the order model.
Don't use him.
I
Then.
know. I'm just offering a counter argument.
Oh, okay.
If you like him, I don't. But he's my favourite paint job of the ones I've got. They've got the resin original, and I've done a good job on that one. I'm pleased with it.
Yourself.
Well, it's the one that I'm the most pleased with
Yeah.
as a paint job. So it's kind of a shame I can't use him, but.
So what's your thoughts on with the change in the fluff with how Harry died and he's an actor or something?
I like it. I think it's like what the church would do, but
Yeah.
I think the
Bit of
point being
propaganda.
is, a bit of propaganda. But to be honest, dead players play Guild Ball.
Snakeskin's
all the
played
time.
since season 1.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't really think it was massively necessary that they dropped that in. I think it was just more of a nice to have.
I think it ties it all in. and
With
kind
why he
of-
plays for the Order.
Because why he plays
Yeah.
for the Order, because otherwise there's literally no way you should be able to. I think
Dead
obviously
men don't change allegiances.
it's one of those things where you can appreciate they're trying to adapt to what they want to do, models wise and release wise.
Well, actually,
Slight faux pas in that they'd kind of left Harry out of his first two Union boxes, so he had to go somewhere
Yeah.
to make up that third box. So he was always going to go in there.
Yeah.
And I think putting some fluff around it is a nice way of just tying it off.
because look at it this way: do any other dead characters go up or down to guilds? I don't think they do.
Any what, sorry?
There aren't,
Any dead characters? I don't think any of
there
them
aren't that
are
many
dead
actors in the
floor.
Free Cities, apparently.
This is it.
Right, so we've gone down so far. So in Fish, it's
Grayscales, which
no,
isn't
it's
dead.
Angel,
Oh,
Angel,
sorry, yeah,
Angel
yeah.
and Siren. They're still there. Rats is Graves and Bonesaw.
Yep.
Not dead. Falconers, Vethern, and Egret. They're
yeah.
still fine. I don't know.
No, I don't think there is, because I think
This is it.
I think the reality is the Union had kind of grown to be quite a large guild, so dividing them up was possibly the kind of the tricky element. So
Plus, you had the natural benefit of 3 captains.
Tweet,
yeah. So I
Which-
think that's it.
I don't think
It was
you've
kind
ever
of.
used Brisket, have you?
I have used brisket.
Have you?
I've used
In a
brisket
tournament?
in a tournament. I haven't actually used Vet Rage in a tournament, but I have used brisket.
He
twice.
went to a tournament and he asked if he could, and I lent him my Vet Rage model because it was painted. It wasn't even at the blister.
I put him in there to put people off, but
I've got,
he
I've
never-
got the resin Vet Rage, so I really want to.
I just keep
really
moving my
wanna
hand
take it.
towards it, and it just naturally gravitates towards Blackheart.
You like a 2-inch captain.
I like
yeah.
a 2-inch melee captain, which is one of the reasons why I like Fish.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's
I've never really had a 2-inch captain.
yeah. I just it's the way I play. I like to be able to
No,
put
fire
6
me
influence. I like to be able to
You
put
got
6
the option of it in the
influence.
church, in the blacksmiths, haven't you?
Oh yeah, you got quite a few. And yeah.
You got the option of
To
it.
be
Not
fair,
that it's your.
I probably won't be taking Captain Burnish now. It might be Captain Hearth, because that mad old
Captain
lady is
Furnace.
amazing.
Captain Furnace.
Captain Furnace is amazing.
Captain
as well.
Farris.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that if you're going to put 6 influence on somebody, you want to be able to get work out of them.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the horror of your first attack fluffing or whatever, and then the thing that you're going to do dodge away, and it's just he's sat there with 5 or
Why
4
don't I like
influence.
pinballs?
I think, to be fair, it's one of the reasons why I don't like brisket. I don't want to start talking about seasoned brisket on the Union
Why
podcast.
not? You've chucked her out your guild now. Might as well.
But that's one of
Is
the,
she the most moved character because she was a butcher? Then she went to a union. Now she's gone to the order. She'll
But
find a
she's-
home soon.
But well, maybe she has already found religion. But I think that the Route 1's improved, but it's just not.
Route 1
It's
is
still
so much better.
it's so much better, but it still requires an opposed roll, and so you can put 6 influence on it, and if Route 1 is essential to your strategy for that turn, and she misses it, then
You can proc it off the
you're
character
fucked in.
play.
I know you can, yeah, and so obviously it's slightly better, but turn 1, are you going to get the charge off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Pride.
Challenge accepted.
Pride gives out anatomical,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is big.
and clever.
You know, Harry gives out singled out now. So what are you looking at? Sort of TAC 11 anatomical brisket?
Yeah, but then you've got to get Harry up. So how are you doing that on turn 1?
I'm not saying you do it on two.
No,
What I'm
but
getting
that's my
at
point is that, your
Yeah.
turn 1, if you're using her, well, I suppose you're using Mist really, I suppose, if you're going to go for the turn 1 goal. But
Yeah.
if you're using her for a turn 1 goal,
Plus, what you've also
And
got to
relying
look
on
at
Route
is if you're kicking, you now also have the momentum to bonus time that Route 1,
yeah,
which makes it a lot more reliable.
I'll certainly try her out because I bought all the models now. But
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why, and the TAC 5. But but they're the reasons why I struggle with her, or I
Yeah.
struggled with her when she was in Union, and why I'm still kind of struggling to get her behind her in order.
Right. So last one is Snakeskin, which we had already seen before all the big reveals.
I've actually used her, although I used her in a season 3 team, which apparently is exactly the same as the season 4 team.
Yes. Your hipster you.
Yeah.
I was using these before they were cool. Stat line has stayed the same. She has the same health. She still has beautiful.
No, she gained beautiful.
Oh, she gained beautiful. Sorry, my bad. She still has venomous strike, and she
Beautiful?
still has charmed
The
mail.
range.
She's just lost shadow like, which is mine. Obviously, 2 inches dodge at the start. But don't worry too much. She gained Where'd They Go, which is obviously a 4-inch dodge for a cost of 1, which is great. She did lose clone. Have we seen clone in any of the?
Yeah,
Vitriol.
Vitriol's
Yeah.
got clone, and clone's not as good as it was.
You lost a 2-inch dodge off clone now, so Vitriol's not counter attack proof.
This is it. So
I'd nab
overall,
it.
overall, I think losing clone for Where'd They Go is not a bad change.
God no.
And then her playbook has changed a little bit. First column's exactly the same. She still has a momentous tackle on 2. but she's now lost the 2 damage and has gained a double dodge, non-momentous. She's gained a momentous 2 damage on 3, which is nice.
Yeah.
And she has the single non-momentous Guild Ball playbook symbol, which is the Where'd They Go. So obviously she's lost the tackle and dodge, which is obviously a
Tackle dodge is key.
tackle dodge is really, really good. 4th column has changed. She's no longer got the momentous double dodge, but she now has a tackle double dodge, which is non-momentous.
Best result in the game.
Best result in the game. Obviously, it's not momentous.
Not quite as good as the momentous one, though.
This is it.
Second best.
And then top of her playbook is now momentous 3.
Nice.
So, you know, if you're desperate, she can probably do a bit of damage, especially now.
She's still got the 2-on-2.
She has 2 on 3.
2 on 3
momentous. But, you know, she still gives out poisoned. And on the charge, you'll hit that tackle double dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first saw her, I had a debate about whether or not I liked her, because I have used Snakeskin in Season 3 and Season 2.
Yeah, you used to against my rats.
I know Andy T loves Snakeskin.
Yeah,
The ability to get the 2 damage, even though it's not momentous.
It's the 2-on-2 and
2
poison.
on 2, yeah, and poison is so good as a late activation. And by then, normally, as a Union player, you've won the momentum race anyway, so you don't need that momentous damage. So that's a kind of hard thing to take. But I used her, she flew up the board, scored a goal, which is, I suppose, is to some extent what she's designed for now.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, I then dodged her away, and then my opponent pretty much ignored her, and she just sat at the back of the field, not doing a great deal after that. I couldn't get her quite back in the game, but she, you know, she got me 4 VPs, so she does exactly what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Really, Where'd They Go goes in, tackles the ball.
This is it. Where'd They Go
scores
gets
the
around
goal.
all the unpredictable shenanigans and things like that. So it's great.
So, Union.
Overall,
Has there been any nerfs?
not really.
Vet Rage tackle moving.
Vet Rage's tackle
If
moving.
you're using Vet Rage for a tackle, I think you got
Well,
different priorities.
you'd put. I mean, normally everyone's playing Mist, aren't they? You can Vet Rage Mist, and then a couple of beaters that you can use Red
Vet Rage
Fury on.
missed
Benediction and a beta
Avarice and Greed or
gutter.
Gutter.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter because you've got a ball retriever in Mist already who's probably going to get you the goal that you want versus the 4 beat downs you're going to do with the rest of your team.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really a massive disadvantage to him. So generally, well, it is a nerf,
Yeah.
but it's not really a
mega
key
nerf.
one. Yeah, it's not going to be a mega one.
This is it. So
They've just kind of they've kind of stayed the same really. I think the gaining of momentous damage on Benediction, Grace, and Snakeskin obviously means that it's moving them more towards that whole idea of they do momentous damage and they can score goals as well. Although probably not quite as easily as an out and out footballing team, obviously, but they've got that tech as well. So they are the kind of the everyman mixed bag of you're looking at 2-2 probably.
oh yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
potentially push to a 4-1 because
I
of the
think
momentous damage.
Vet Rage will easily take the 4-1.
So, where in terms of meta, without these really changing a lot and then being a lot
Still
of...
sitting at the top.
Do you still think they'll be sitting at the top?
Sitting near the top, but given that some of the guilds have had a fairly
Can you what that smirk on your face?
a fairly significant power increase,
Had a,
then I think it's going to be interesting because there are going to be guilds that have jumped up, and so I think by staying the same, they haven't been nerfed.
Oh,
They've been
there
buffed.
we go.
They haven't been nerfed because they have been buffed, and they've got new players that can do new things, but they aren't.
Do you not mean because they haven't been buffed, they've been nerfed?
But I don't think making Fangtooth viable and giving Rage the option to get some extra buffs in isn't going to move them up from where they were.
However,
They've pretty much stayed
counter
where they
argument. So, what they've done with the Union is they've buffed players like Fangtooth and that to make them more viable. But however, with a team like the Masons, they've nerfed characters to make other players. So they've nerfed Brick quite substantially to make them pick other characters.
But I think the difference is.
Do you know what I mean? It's two different trains.
But I don't think there was. I don't think there was ever a player that was in. I don't think there was a player that was in every team.
Decimate.
Other than
Gutter.
captains. Oh, leave Decimate alone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've just named it now. They're Decimate. Decimate was in pretty much every lineup.
In every of my lineup, I don't know if everybody else.
Every
used
Rage
it,
lineup. Momentous 2 and a dodge on 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's only 1-inch melee though.
Oh,
Easily
oh
counted.
dear.
No knockdown. Easily counted. You have to knock them down first. But
I went
yeah,
anatomical, so I forgot about that.
but there aren't that many that you see in every team. I've talked to people. I've talked to Union players that don't believe Decimate's very good, and
Who?
that she's a bit poor.
Name them.
They will shame them now. I mean, tell them they are wrong.
Well, I know they're wrong, and I tell them they're wrong, but
Name them. Name these fools.
I don't know. I'd have to go back through the various chats, but
if you're listening to this, post in the comments if you think Decimate
is,
and we'll flame you off.
Not shit, but just that there are better players in the team.
Name them.
Well, look at it. I'll tell you what. Look at a Vet Rage team.
Yeah.
You're going to put Gutter in.
Yeah.
Benediction.
Yeah.
Mist.
Maybe.
Missed for the goal.
Decimate's a striker. Decimate will do it.
Decimate
will do it.
With the 9-inch sprint and the 3-6 kick.
One of the reasons why she ends up in
and second wind.
But one of the reasons why she ends up in all of my teams is because I don't really like taking Mist. I don't like taking that dedicated striker. I'd much rather have a switch player that can do both.
Yeah.
She's not quite as good as because she's only got 16-inch range. Moving, she can dodge obviously off that at the back of it. But
she can have 2 attacks, which will both give her double
1-inch
dodges.
Well, non-momentous double dodges.
If you're playing Vet Rage, you are not struggling for momentum.
No. But my point is, she's not got the out and out range of Mist, and she can't do the turn 1 fly in and get the ball.
She's got. I used to do it with Masons
6-inch jog,
all the time.
6-inch jog, 9-inch threat, or 10-inch threat.
Yeah. I did it with Masons.
But
She was your go-to union with Mason.
She was.
But she can't get beyond the deployment zone. So in theory, you could, if you hold the ball back behind the deployment zone and pass it along the line, she's not going to get that opportunity until you've had your
kicked
score.
With Decimate, right? They've sent their player out to go fetch the ball, hoofed it back to the next available player. She's in. She's on them like a rash, and that ball is in your goal.
She's only got a double dodge on 4 successes.
Doesn't
and that's
matter.
Non-momentous.
You literally on the charge.
And don't forget you start with the momentum, so you
do
bonus
now.
9 times out of
You do
10,
now.
you'll hit that tackle double dodge, and you'll be out of there.
Then she
Then
can
you've got a
tackle
clean
double
shot on
dodge,
goal.
have another one for another attack for another momentum. You'd do your charge. You'd spend 1 for your second wind dodge.
Yep.
You'd score your thing, and then you could score and
Dodge
do an 8-inch
8
dodge.
And then all of a sudden, you're back on the
halfway line, rinse and
Chill.
repeat.
Well, then you could put Mist in, put Decimate in anyway, and Mist can go off and score the goal
I
and
think
get
the
his
point-
8-inch dodge back.
The point being, right, is
Mist is super
Decimate
strong.
can still do
Demonstrate.
this.
Yeah, she can. But I know Union players that don't play her. I do. I play her in every game because she's normally
She's amazing.
She is
Yeah.
amazing. She's one of the most balanced players in the game.
4 influence on her, you get 4 back. You won't necessarily do loads of damage.
You'll do
You'll do 8 damage.
4 to 8 damage,
Yeah.
normally 8, and you'll even if you're doing a tough hide model and you fluff it, you'll get the dodge, so you still get the momentum.
This is it.
So she's great, and I'm not denying she isn't.
Plus,
but,
she's a great choice for Bloody Coin, is it?
yeah, I suppose so. I think there's better options.
I'm not saying there aren't better options, but what I'm getting at is in a pinch, right? If Vet Rage is sitting there, he's crowded out a couple of times, he's like, Decimate, stab this fool.
Yeah.
I'll have that momentum. I'll heal myself. Done. Do you know what I mean? It's, literally, she's so reliable. At Tactics Anatomical, you are getting through everybody.
You'll get full momentum
you
every
care not
time
for
you're with someone.
Masons, you care not for blacksmiths. For anyone with one armour, you're laughing.
Yeah.
What about velocity and cover? Nimble velocity and cover.
You'll
That's
never
my
get
one
that.
example.
You'll never get
5
that.
dice. All you need is now
need
that
some-
health's right down. All you need is the
Just
One
get rid of
damage.
the ball.
1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage on off her 4. Then Rage walks up and gets her to do it 4 more times
Yeah.
to kill her. Although she's still got
That's 8.
reanimate.
She's got reanimate.
Yeah, okay.
She's on 9
You have to
boxes now.
spike once to get 2 hits to get the 2 damage.
Nimble velocity and cover's a thing. That's my example for every kind of defence. But what about? It's like the football thing. Or can you do it on a cold night in Stoke, a Tuesday night in Stoke? So I think that's probably a good place to end it.
But yeah, overall, Union haven't changed a great deal. They're still super strong. I think your question initially was, do you still see them
At the top.
near the
I think
top
the reality
of
is
the
they are still near the top
Like-
because they are now and they haven't changed. But
Next-
other people have caught up with them.
Yeah.
And some
Netball's,
potentially
they're right
overtaken.
up there still.
Who knows if they're overtaking them?
Well, let's find out.
Uh,
Season 4.
I think, to be honest, I think Fish might be taking down a peg slightly with the nerfs to Corsair. Well, to be fair, the nerfs to Fish as a general whole of not having momentous damage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not wrapping on Corsair's hit, then you're not doing it right.
Doesn't matter. What are you gonna...
Take non-momentous damage and then wrap from something momentous.
Wrap
and then
Rapture.
and then when you take them out, you just get your 3 momentum for the takeout plus
Yeah,
1.
but to be honest, if you're not wrapping for double dipping damage, then you're probably not going to get the takeout.
Yeah, but you've got an absolute mound of people around you that can all hit them as well for non-momentous damage.
But they're not having gutter now, which is amazing.
It is, yeah.
They've lost gutter.
I'm not saying it is a nerf, but there are still ways around it. If you want to play Corsair as a beta, you can still play Corsair as a beta, and you'll still do all right with momentum. You just won't do quite as well as you did before.
Yeah, and then
We've moved on to Fish now versus.
I think
Union,
I think what the point being is that
Union is still going to be.
Union are still going to be right up there. I think. As like one game in on season 4, right? As I am at the moment, right?
There we go.
One game in.
Here we go.
Union and Fish are still going to be at the top. I know Luke's going to hate me for this, but Alchemists are definitely up there now, right? And to be
In the
honest,
hands of a good player.
a tournament winner. Yeah.
A tournament
Season
winning
3 tournament
Alchemist.
so actually, I have 2 gold dice. Luke has 1 gold dice.
You got 2. When did you win your other one?
I won one at SteamCon last year.
Found it.
At least you didn't buy it.
Win it, find it. There's this things around
No,
about.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
It's just on the floor. I like
I wouldn't speedball.
that. Oh, okay.
I wouldn't
Right,
speedball
okay.
at SteamCon. And yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they bought a silver one.
And bought a silver one because I'd come second in the tournament and then won another silver one. To
Was that,
quantify.
sorry, was that the 4-man tournament?
6 man. That should have been gold, to be fair. Sorry, Max.
So what? Yeah. So you think Alchemist is still going to be amazing?
I think Alchemist is going to be amazing.
In a skilled player's
I think
hand.
Mortons are going to be up there as well. I think
Yeah, more.
I think New Scalpel will be amazing.
Old Scalpel was fairly unpleasant when I played
think-
at the weekend, so New Scalpel's just even
Like
worse.
honestly, I can see Scalpel, Cossack, Graves, Dirge,
Then you can have Pelage.
Pelage, and pick your Graves.
We need to chop this whole conversation out and put it in at the end when we finish doing all the previews of the guild.
Well, we'll do something.
I
Anyway,
think
I think we're a good place to finish. So
it's a great place to finish. So thanks very much for watching,
thank you to Singled Out for
hosting us.
hosting us. And
if
letting
they're
us
still allowing us to by then.
Literally, when we go up to Andy's desk and drop 15 podcasts on it.
How many can you do a month?
Guys, taking the piss.
Yeah.
His tat as well.
Yeah. So we're back.
Bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah. So
That's an in-joke I'm not in on.
I don't know what it was. Right. Thank you very much. I've been Luke.
I've been Rich.
I've been Dave.
All right. Thank you. Bye.